Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, but I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So in today's video, we'll take a look at the economic calendar, we'll go over some news, and then we'll do our market recap and market analysis. So starting here on the economic calendar, today, Thursday, June 8th, we did get initial jobless claims come in at 261,000 with 235,000 expected. And tomorrow, it does not look like we have any significant economic data dropping. So now we can look at some news. So this is the VIX here, as you can see, hitting its lowest levels today since January of 2020. We also have the S&P 500 now up 20% from its October low, which means the SPY and the stock market is now officially in a new bull market. And here is a chart from Morgan Stanley showing their US cycle indicator. As you can see, the yellow here is expansion, the red is downturn, the green is repair, and the blue is recovery. As you can see it rolling over here and turning red, indicating a downturn. We also have China increased its gold reserves for the 7th straight month, and they have been increasing their holdings by about 16 tons in May. And here we have XRP outperforming the rest of the cryptocurrency sector with an average 12.8% month-on-month increase. As you see, the worst performer down here at SHIB with 11%. These are just like the main big boys too. And we also have Binance lawyers alleging that the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, offered to serve as an advisor to the crypto company in 2019, which is just insane. Just another pure example of how corrupt the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is, because they just filed a lawsuit against Binance earlier in the week. And here we have some news that the Eurozone has officially entered a recession. So now we can do our market recap, starting here in the debt market with the U.S. 10-year yield. As you can see, a big red day today in the U.S. 10-year yield, but still consolidating up here in the upper end of the daily range. As you can see, these bands starting to curl up here. Looking at the dollar, as you can see, massive red day here in the dollar, breaking down through that midline and, pretty much pulling into that midline here on the weekly chart. And these bands are squeezing as well. Looking at the stock market, as you can see, big red day today. Still kind of an inside day, though. It's been consolidating here for the pretty much this whole week. As you can see, pulling into this support level here from the past couple days and pushing up into the resistance level as well. If you look here at the weekly chart, as you can see, approaching these previous highs back here from August. Looking at cryptocurrencies, we have Bitcoin with a green day today, but still just consolidating down here in the lower end of this daily range, trying to work out the price action after all these lawsuits. Looking at XRP, as you can see, green day here in XRP, doing the same as Bitcoin, but it is relatively more bullish, as you can see, consolidating up here above that midline and in the upper end of the daily range, right here at this previous resistance level from April. Now we can look at commodities, looking at U.S. oil. As you can see, big red day here in oil, breaking down through that midline and getting a wick pretty close to that lower extreme. Looking at gold, as you see, big red day here in gold, pretty much a bullish engulfing candle after that big red day we got yesterday. As you can see, getting a nice push up here into that daily midline. Looking at silver, monster day here in silver, a lot bigger than gold here. As you can see, getting up through that midline and pushing into this upper extreme, looking like it might want to squeeze to the upside here. As you can see, after holding support at these previous levels here from January. Now we can do our market analysis. We'll start here with our volume analysis on the S&P 500 Spider ETF here. As you can see, fairly low volume day today. The only high volume day was yesterday, and I know I didn't make a video yesterday. I was busy, but as you can see, pretty low volume day today, even though it was a nice green candle. But as you can see, majority buying coming in, and you can see that level here better on this chart. That previous high here from August, as you can see, sitting right there below it on the weekly chart. So it will be interesting to see if we can break out, into Friday. As you know, most of these Fridays for the past couple of weeks have been really strong. Now we can look at our 3-minute chart. So this is where we opened at. That's what that blue line is. As you can see, opening up right where we closed yesterday, getting a pull down here into yesterday's lows, getting a nice recovery, bounce off VWAP for a push up here, and then getting a pull back down into VWAP, and then getting a nice bounce off that level for a retest of yesterday's highs. You can zoom out a little bit here. As you can see on that 15-minute, you can see the range we've been in this week. As you can see, we do have basically a 1, 2, 3, 4 test of this upper resistance level, and pretty 2 good tests here of this lower support level. Looking at the 2-hour chart here, as you can see, this kind of smaller downtrend that we broke out of today for a slight trend reversal here in momentum. Now we can look at the VIX and the NASDAQ. As you can see, the VIX continuing to the downside. If you remember that chart from the news, as you can see, just at its lowest levels we've seen in years. As you can see, though, it's still like kind of uptrending here after getting that trend reversal here in momentum, but the price is making continuous lows. But I do want to point out we are starting to get more kind of green candles here in the price action. Looking at the NASDAQ, as you can see, getting a strong push here off the open, kind of pushing it up into the significant key resistance level here, and then kind of consolidating under that level. Something I do want to point out, this could be a head and shoulders pattern kind of forming here. As you can see, your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder maybe forming here, and then your neckline right here. So we'll definitely watch that. But as you can see down here in momentum, we are still downtrending in momentum, but we are approaching that trend line here, which does line up right there at that zero line. So it'll be definitely interesting to see what happens here in the NASDAQ. Now we can go talk about some trades here. We'll go to our 1 minute chart, pull up our drawings. With the VIX being this low, you know, there really wasn't many good trades today. I mean, you had to squeeze off the open, but you know, there was a lot of, you know, support levels here, so I didn't really like this for a short. And in here there wasn't really the best pattern. This was just kind of a triple bottom here off of like this VWAP area. It had a momentum shift squeeze to the downside, but I didn't really like this for long because you had the upper extreme here on the 15-minute chart like sitting right there. And then here, as you can see, you kind of had this squeeze as well. Not really a good pattern either, just kind of like a double bottom off this previous high. I didn't like that either because it did have downward momentum as well, and it was running into that upper extreme on the 5 minute. And here you kind of had this like ugly like broadening wedge pattern with a long squeeze here, but it did have multiple momentum shifts. So I didn't really like this one too much either, but there was a 5 minute squeeze, so this breakout would have made a lot more sense to play to the upside after seeing all this strength. But there was this resistance level here from Wednesday sitting right here though, so there wasn't a lot of room to the upside, but as you can see, breaking through that level. So this was like pretty much the best pattern, and it didn't even come to like 12:15, right? And this wasn't even the best pattern, but it did have a 5 minute squeeze to go along with it. So you know, there's that. But this one actually wasn't bad here. This squeeze we got at about 115. This was a bear flag pattern, which I did like, with downward momentum squeeze to the downside after running into the upper extreme on the 15-minute and the 5-minute. So this was a pretty bearish pattern here. It did line up with the other time frame analysis. So I actually did like this for, you know, maybe an opportunity to fade the stock back down for a short down to VWAP. As you see here, not the greatest pattern either, just kind of like a double bottom breakout. It did have a squeeze here, but you know, this one was looking pretty good because, you know, we did have all that strength in the morning, and we were bouncing off that VWAP area, which is a very significant level. So this could have been a decent opportunity for a long. So really, most of the morning was just really bad trades. I mean, and then you got a couple good ones, you know, later in the day, but for the most part, the trading was, you know, not too hot today. But it's kind of what to expect when the VIX is that low. If y'all aren't aware, the VIX is the volatility index, which shows the volatility, like relativity of the stock market. As you see, it just dropping significantly here, so that's why the got to be careful with the trading when the VIX is this low. As you can see, the stock market continuing to move higher here after we got that breakout out of this RSI pattern here, getting pretty close to this upper 70 level here for the overbought territory, and approaching this previous high from August. So, you know, I would definitely watch this level. If we break through this level with a nice push up, you know, it would definitely be interesting to see if like we just break up through it and pull back to it as support, and then, you know, just march our way higher. But I would definitely watch this level because there could be a big rejection here to the upside, because we are at this upper extreme on the weekly chart. You do have this upper trend line here, and you do have this previous high. So there could be a lot of resistance up in this level. But, you know, crazier things have happened. You know, this market is just insane, to be honest. So it could just blow straight through it, and then we're working our way towards all-time highs going into the end of the year. But, you know, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah, that'll do it for the video. Appreciate y'all watching, and I will talk to y'all later.